My name is Clark, 23 years old, and I still remember the sting watching my brother Justin unwrap keys to his brand new Jeep while I clutched a single lottery ticket. The contrast was brutal. $45,000 versus $20. I smiled through gritted teeth that day, never imagining this small rectangle of paper would completely rewrite our family story. The unfairness that burned inside me would eventually lead to the most unexpected twist of fate. Before I continue this crazy journey, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, and hit that like and subscribe button to see how this lottery ticket changed everything forever. Growing up in suburban Atlanta, our family projected perfect harmony to outsiders. My father, Thomas, commanded respect as a senior business executive at a technology firm, bringing home six figures that afforded us comfort in our four-bedroom colonial house. My mother, Patricia, complemented his income nicely, as a successful real estate agent, always dressed impeccably, while shuttling between open houses in her luxury sedan. From the outside, we were living the American dream. But inside our perfectly landscaped yard with its pristine white fence, reality played out differently. The favoritism toward my brother Justin began subtly. Justin arrived 2 years after me, immediately captivating our parents with his outgoing personality and athletic prowess. While I was thoughtful and methodical, Justin burned brightly, drawing attention effortlessly. This natural charisma translated into preferential treatment that became increasingly apparent as we grew. I first noticed the disparity when Justin turned 7. Baseball season approached, and father surprised him with a premium Louisville Slugger bat, genuine leather glove, and private coaching sessions. Earlier that year, on my birthday, I received a second-hand chemistry set from a cousin. The pattern continued through elementary school. Justin got the latest PlayStation with 6 games. I received books and educational software. Your brother needs more encouragement with his confidence, mother would explain. You're naturally gifted at academics, Clark. Their logic created a painful paradox. Excel at something, get less support. Fall short. Receive additional resources. This backward incentive system shaped our childhood experiences in countless ways. Summer vacations always revolved around Justin's interests. If he mentioned wanting to try surfing suddenly, we were booking beach houses in California. My requests for science camps or museum tours were acknowledged with vague promises of maybe next time that rarely materialized. During 8th grade, I won the regional science fair with a project on renewable energy. The ceremony fell on the same day as Justin's baseball tournament. I accepted my certificate with only my science teacher witnessing my achievement. Later that evening, our family celebrated Justin's team placing 3rd with ice cream sundaes and new sports equipment. My certificate was eventually hung on the refrigerator, partially obscured by Justin's sports schedule. I adapted by channeling my energy into academics where I could excel independently. The strategy worked academically but failed to win parental approval. Instead, it reinforced their perception that I was self-sufficient, while Justin needed their constant attention and support. This cycle continued through high school, where Justin received driving lessons in father's BMW, while I took public buses to academic competitions. College selection brought this dynamic to new heights. Justin's average grades limited his options, prompting our parents to hire expensive tutors and a private college counselor. They visited 12 campuses with him, weighing each program's merits against his interests. When my turn came, they suggested I research options online, confident in my ability to navigate the process independently. I secured a partial scholarship to a respected state university, while Justin attended a private college, with tuition fully covered by our parents. The explanation remained consistent. Your brother struggles more with academics. You've always been our independent one. Despite these challenges, I excelled in my business administration program, making the dean's list every semester and securing prestigious internships through my own networking efforts. I graduated with honors, specializing in entrepreneurship and technology management. The achievement represented countless hours of dedication and perseverance, often studying late into the night while working part-time jobs to cover expenses my scholarship didn't include. Graduation day arrived with blue skies and perfect temperatures. I donned my cap and gown, a sense of accomplishment, warming my chest as I received my diploma. Several friends shared stories of graduation gifts from their parents. A trip to Europe helped with a down payment on a condo. Even a reliable used car to start their professional journey. While I never expected extravagance, I allowed myself to hope for something meaningful to mark this milestone. Our family planned a joint celebration at home, ostensibly honoring both my graduation and Justin's completion of his business degree at his private college. Justin had taken 5 years to finish changing majors twice before settling on a general business program. Despite the additional time and expense, our parents expressed nothing but pride in his persistence. The backyard was transformed with string lights, balloons in our school colors, and tables laden with catered food. Extended family and neighbors arrived bearing gifts and congratulations. As evening approached, Father clinked his glass for everyone's attention, announcing it was time for the special presentation to honor his son's achievements. The gift-giving ceremony began with Father standing proudly at the center of our backyard patio, champagne flute raised high. Relatives and friends formed a semicircle around us, their expectant faces illuminated by the string lights overhead. Mother stood beside him wearing her signature pearls and a dress in Justin's college colors, her hand resting affectionately on his shoulder. "Today, we celebrate 2 fine young men," Father announced, his voice carrying across the yard. "Both Webster sons are now college graduates, ready to make their mark on the world." The polite applause felt hollow as I noticed Mother's eyes fixed adoringly on Justin. I straightened my posture, attempting to project confidence despite the familiar knot forming in my stomach. Experience had taught me to expect disparity, but hope persisted that this milestone might finally bring equal recognition. "Justin, Father continued your journey through college, showed us your determination. Despite facing challenges, you persevered and discovered your path." He neglected to mention the additional year program changes and academic probation that characterized this determination. Father reached into his pocket and withdrew a small box, presenting it to Justin with theatrical flourish. My brother tore through the wrapping paper, revealing a velvet case containing car keys adorned with the Jeep logo. "No way," Justin exclaimed, genuine surprise lighting his features. "You guys are kidding me." "It's parked around front," Mother chimed in, practically bouncing with excitement. "The Jeep Wrangler you've been talking about. Unlimited model, custom wheels, fully loaded." Our relatives erupted in appreciative murmurs as Justin embraced our parents. Mother wiped tears from her eyes while Father clapped Justin's back proudly. The Jeep represented a $45,000 investment. Information I knew because Justin had left the brochure conspicuously displayed on our kitchen counter for months, complete with his preferred options circled in red. Marker. Speech called Uncle Frank. And Justin obliged with characteristic charisma. "This means everything to me," he said, twirling the keys around his finger. "I promise to make you proud as I start my career journey." The gathering collectively smiled, charmed as always by Justin's natural ease. He hadn't mentioned any specific career plans to me, but apparently he'd need reliable transportation for this undefined professional path. After several minutes of admiring comments and questions about the vehicle's features, attention reluctantly shifted to me. The contrast in energy was palpable, like watching fireworks followed by a flashlight beam. "Clark," Father said, his tone noticeably less enthusiastic, "we're equally proud of your academic achievements." Mother nodded agreement, adding, "You've always been so focused and dedicated." Father reached into his jacket pocket, extracting a simple white envelope. It seemed impossibly small compared to Justin's gift. But I maintained my hopeful expression. Perhaps it contained airline tickets for that European trip I'd mentioned wanting to take before starting my career, or maybe a check toward a reliable car of my own. "We know you're more practical than your brother," Father explained, as he handed me the envelope, "always thinking about the future." The envelope felt light in my hand. Too light for airline tickets or substantial paperwork. I opened it carefully, aware of the attentive eyes around me. Inside was a single scratch-off lottery ticket, with "Congratulations, graduate" printed across the top. $20. That was my graduation gift. "We thought this suited your analytical mind," Mother added brightly. "You've always enjoyed calculating odds and investments." The silence stretched uncomfortably, until Aunt Meredith commented, "How thoughtful." Very personalized. I forced my features into a polite smile, though my face felt wooden. "Thanks, Mom and Dad." Very unexpected. Justin, perhaps sensing the awkwardness, tossed his keys upward with a jingle. "Want to check out the Jeep, bro? First passenger ride is yours." The gathering shifted toward the front yard, providing me a momentary reprieve from maintaining my composed facade. My friend Marcus approached, keeping his voice low. "Dude, that's harsh." "You okay?" he asked, genuine concern in his eyes. "It's fine," I replied automatically. "Just my parents being themselves." Marcus squeezed my shoulder supportively. "Still coming to the after-party later?" "Wouldn't miss it," I assured him, though socializing was the last thing I wanted. Throughout the remainder of the celebration, I caught sympathetic glances from various guests. Cousin Rachel cornered me by the dessert table, her expression thunderous. "That was complete garbage," she whispered fiercely. "You graduated with honors and worked through school. They paid Justin's full ride, and he barely passed." "It's nothing new," I replied, attempting to sound unbothered while selecting a brownie I had no appetite for. As guests gradually departed, I retreated to my childhood bedroom, now converted into a tasteful guest room, with none of my personal effects remaining. Justin's room, meanwhile, remained preserved like a shrine, complete with high school trophies and posters. Lying on the unfamiliar bedspread, I examined the lottery ticket. $20 versus $45,000. The disparity was so extreme, it bordered on comical. I calculated that Justin's gift was 2,250 times more valuable than mine. The mathematical precision of this inequality brought an odd comfort, quantifiable evidence of what I'd experienced my entire life. My phone buzzed with a text from Rachel. "Coming over with ice cream." No arguments. 30 minutes later, Rachel sat cross-legged on the bed beside me, 2 pints of premium ice cream between us. Unlike the rest of the family, Rachel had always acknowledged the preferential treatment, validating my experience, rather than dismissing it. "You know what's messed up," she said, jabbing her spoon emphatically. "If Justin got the lottery ticket, they'd be apologizing and promising to take him car shopping tomorrow." I nodded, letting the rich chocolate temporarily soothe my wounded pride. "I keep telling myself I should be grateful for the education." "You can be grateful for opportunities without accepting unfair treatment," Rachel countered. "Those aren't mutually exclusive." We talked late into the night, her presence a balm to my bruised spirit. Before leaving, she hugged me tightly and whispered, "Their behavior says nothing about your worth, and everything about their limitations." After Rachel left, I placed the lottery ticket on my nightstand, deciding to approach tomorrow with dignity. I would cash the ticket, perhaps buy myself a modest celebration dinner, and continue building my life independently. The disappointment stung, but I refused to let it define me. Morning sunlight streamed through unfamiliar curtains as I awakened in my converted bedroom. The events of the previous evening crashed back, dampening my spirits momentarily before I pushed the feelings aside. Today marked the first day of my post-graduation life, and I was determined to focus forward, rather than dwell on disappointments. Voices drifted upstairs, Justin regaling our parents with plans for his new Jeep, while Mother prepared her signature Sunday breakfast. I delayed joining them, instead reaching for my phone to check emails from potential employers. The lottery ticket caught my eye, propped against the lamp where I'd left it. Might as well see if it's worth the paper it's printed on, I muttered, grabbing the coin I kept in my wallet for scratching such tickets. A quarter from my birth year that grandfather had given me for luck. The irony wasn't lost on me. My $20 graduation gift required a lucky coin to determine its value. I methodically scratched the silver coating, revealing numbers underneath without much enthusiasm. The ticket featured a simple matching game with a bonus section at bottom. I uncovered the winning numbers, first 7, 16, 23, 42, and 55. Continuing to the Your Numbers section, I worked systematically, revealing each number before checking against the winners. The first matched 7. Mildly surprised, I continued scratching. 16 appeared another match. Then 23, 42, and finally 55. All 5 numbers matched. That can't be right, I whispered, double-checking each digit. I'd never won more than $50 on these tickets, and that had happened exactly once. I turned my attention to the fine print along the bottom edge. 5 matching numbers indicated the grand prize. My heart rate accelerated as I scratched the prize amount section, revealing text rather than numbers. Jackpot winner. See lottery official. The coin slipped from my suddenly numb fingers, bouncing silently on the carpet. With shaking hands, I retrieved my laptop, navigating to the state lottery website. The current jackpot flashed prominently on the homepage. $8.7 million. This is impossible, I muttered, reading the winning numbers from last night's drawing. They matched perfectly with my ticket. According to the site, one winning ticket had been sold at Miller's convenience store. The exact location printed on my ticket's reverse. My breathing became shallow as I read further. Winners could select between 30 annual payments or a reduced lump sum option. After federal and state taxes, the lump sum payment would approximate $4.2 million. $4.2 million. From a $20 ticket, given as an afterthought. The room seemed to tilt slightly as I stood, my legs unsteady beneath me. I paced the small space, alternately staring at the ticket and checking the website. After confirming the numbers 10 times, I finally accepted the impossible truth. I held the winning ticket for nearly $9 million. Physical symptoms manifested immediately: trembling hands, racing heart, lightheadedness. I sat heavily on the bed, forcing deep breaths while my mind raced with implications. Financial independence. Investment opportunities. Never depending on parental approval again. After regaining composure, I located the winner's information page. The process required visiting the lottery headquarters with the signed ticket and identification. They recommended bringing a financial advisor and attorney to the claim appointment. I called the verification hotline listed on the website, fingers fumbling with each digit. A professional voice answered, and I explained my situation with surprising steadiness. "Congratulations, sir." The lottery representative responded, after verifying my ticket information. "You appear to have the winning ticket from last night's drawing. I strongly recommend signing the back immediately and keeping it in a secure location until your appointment." Following her instructions, I signed the ticket with uncharacteristically messy handwriting, then photographed it front and back before placing it in my wallet. The representative explained that while they couldn't guarantee authenticity until the official verification process, all details matched their records. Many winners choose to maintain privacy during this transition, she advised. Consider limiting who knows about your win until after the claim process. After ending the call, I sat motionless, absorbing this seismic shift in circumstances. Downstairs, I could hear Justin's animated voice describing customizations for his new vehicle. The contrast between our situations had reversed completely in the span of 12 hours. My $20 gift now dwarfed his $45,000 Jeep by a factor of nearly 200. I decided to maintain secrecy temporarily while processing this development. The lottery office had provided contact information for financial advisors specializing in sudden wealth management. Before sharing news that would forever alter family dynamics, I needed professional guidance and personal clarity. After composing myself, I joined my family for breakfast, the ticket securely in my wallet. Justin dominated conversation with elaborate plans for his Jeep, while our parents nodded encouragingly. I contributed occasional comments, while mentally calculating investment strategies and philanthropic possibilities. "You're quiet this morning," Clark Mother observed, during a rare pause in Justin's monologue. "Still disappointed about your gift?" "Not at all," I replied truthfully. "Just thinking about future opportunities." Father nodded approvingly. "That's what we've always appreciated about you, son. Always planning ahead while your brother lives in the moment." Justin raised his orange juice in mock salute. Someone's got to enjoy life while Clark counts pennies. The family chuckled, unaware of the financial revolution in my pocket. I simply smiled, experiencing an unusual sense of calm amidst their familiar dynamics. For once I possessed knowledge that would transform everything, but only when I chose to reveal it. Later that day, I scheduled an appointment with financial advisor Bradley Thompson, recommended specifically for lottery winners by the commission. His office confirmed an emergency consultation the following morning, emphasizing complete confidentiality. That evening, as Justin revved his Jeep's engine for appreciative neighbors, while our parents watched adoringly, I researched wealth management strategies and tax implications. The contrast between our parallel celebrations, Justin's public and immediate, mine private and potentially life-changing, struck me as the perfect metaphor for our differences. I fell asleep that night with the ticket secured in a sealed envelope beneath my pillow, dreaming of possibilities that had seemed impossible just 24 hours earlier. Monday morning arrived with new purpose. I called the marketing firm where I'd been scheduled to interview, requesting a postponement due to a family situation requiring immediate attention. With my calendar cleared, I focused entirely on managing my unexpected windfall. Bradley Thompson's office occupied the 12th floor of a downtown high-rise, its understated elegance conveying competence rather than flashiness. The advisor himself reflected this same philosophy, gray-suited, articulate, and refreshingly straightforward. "Most lottery winners make catastrophic financial mistakes," he explained after verifying my ticket. "They view the money as infinite rather than as capital to be preserved and grown." For 3 hours, we discussed investment strategies, tax planning, and wealth preservation. Bradley outlined a comprehensive approach that prioritized long-term security over immediate gratification. His proposal included diverse investments across real estate, stocks, bonds, and private equity, structured to generate sustainable income while protecting the principal. "Take a week to consider your priorities before making decisions," he advised as our meeting concluded. "Wealth amplifies your existing values and objectives rather than creating new ones." This insight resonated deeply. What did I truly value? What objectives had I deferred due to financial constraints? The questions followed me through subsequent consultations with attorneys, tax specialists, and 3 additional financial advisors. Each meeting provided valuable perspectives, but Bradley's approach aligned most closely with my instincts. By Wednesday, I had developed preliminary allocation categories for my windfall. 60% would form my core investment portfolio, diversified conservative positions generating reliable returns while preserving capital. 20% would fund strategic real estate investments, income-producing properties in growing markets. 10% would establish a business venture fund, allowing me to pursue entrepreneurial opportunities without risking my primary capital. 5% would create a charitable foundation focusing on educational access for underprivileged students. The remaining 5% would fund personal enjoyment, travel experiences, and modest lifestyle improvements. This framework provided structure, while I processed the emotional implications of sudden wealth. Each evening I returned to my apartment, a modest 1-bedroom I'd leased near potential employers, and contemplated how money would and wouldn't change my life. During this reflective period, I discovered an unexpected passion for educational technology. My research into charitable giving had revealed significant opportunity gaps in STEM education, particularly for low-income students. Technology could bridge these gaps, but existing solutions often missed key accessibility components. This revelation connected directly to my entrepreneurial interests. I began sketching concepts for an educational platform, combining adaptive learning algorithms with accessible interfaces for students with various learning needs. The idea energized me more than any previous career prospect. By Friday, I had scheduled my official claim appointment at lottery headquarters for the following week. I chose the lump sum option, understanding the mathematical advantage of controlling investment timing rather than accepting fixed annuity payments. The weekend brought another family dinner. My presence requested to help Justin plan his career strategy. I attended with newfound confidence, observing family dynamics from this transformed perspective. Justin remained the focal point, describing interviews at father's business connections, while our parents offered enthusiastic support. "What about you, Clark?" father eventually asked. "Any promising leads since graduation?" The question presented perfect opportunity for revelation, but instinct counseled patience. My relationship with money needed definition before introducing it to family complications. Exploring several options, I replied truthfully, "I'll have clearer direction next week." Mother nodded distractedly before returning attention to Justin's potential job prospects. The familiar pattern stung less, now illuminating an important truth. External validation had driven many of my decisions. Financial independence offered freedom from this pattern. But genuine happiness would require internal validation, regardless of wealth. This insight guided my actions the following week. After officially claiming my winnings and establishing appropriate financial structures, I rented a private lake cabin for intensive planning. The secluded setting provided space to align my newfound resources with authentic values and aspirations. I developed detailed business plans for my educational technology concept, researched properties in emerging markets with strong rental demand, and designed a scholarship program targeting first-generation college students. Each project connected to personal experiences, transforming past challenges into future opportunities. The cabin's isolation also provided necessary emotional processing time. Financial security couldn't erase years of feeling secondary in my family's affections. Understanding this distinction helped separate money from approval-seeking behaviors. Wealth would change my circumstances, but couldn't heal emotional wounds without corresponding personal growth. 3 weeks after graduation, I returned home with clarity about both financial plans and family dynamics. The time had arrived to share my news, though anticipating family reactions provoked significant anxiety. How would they respond? Would money suddenly make me interesting? Would Justin feel displaced from his favored position? More importantly, how would I navigate these reactions while maintaining my newly discovered independence and purpose? The answers awaited at Sunday dinner, where family patterns established over decades would encounter an unprecedented disruption. Sunday dinner had followed the same ritual for years. Mother prepared her signature roast with all the trimmings. Father selected wine from his modest collection, and conversation inevitably centered around Justin's latest accomplishments or challenges. This particular Sunday seemed no different, as I arrived precisely at 6, bringing the expected bottle of moderately priced Cabernet. Our family home looked unchanged: carefully maintained flower beds, pristine lawn, and tasteful decor that Mother refreshed seasonally. Yet everything felt different through my transformed perspective. The house that once represented unattainable standards now seemed merely pleasant, but conventional. "Clark." Perfect timing, Mother called from the kitchen, wearing her Sunday dinner apron over a coordinated outfit. "Justin's telling us about his second interview at Wellington Partners." Justin lounged in Father's recliner, gesturing animatedly while describing his interview experience. The senior partner practically guaranteed I'd advance to the final round. Said I had the perfect personality for client relations. "That's wonderful, son," Father beamed, refreshing Justin's drink without being asked. I offered genuine congratulations while helping Mother arrange serving dishes. The familiar choreography continued through appetizers and main course, with Justin commanding attention while I occupied my usual supporting role. The predictability felt almost comforting, a final experience of the old normal before everything changed. As Mother served her homemade apple pie, I recognized my moment had arrived. The timing seemed appropriate. Dessert represented new sweetness entering our lives. I cleared my throat, interrupting Justin's description of potential company cars at Wellington Partners. I have some news to share. I began, my voice steadier than anticipated. Father nodded distractedly. Of course, son. After Justin finishes his thought, actually, I continued with newfound assertiveness. This is important and time-sensitive. Something in my tone captured their attention. 3 pairs of eyes turned toward me with varying degrees of interest and confusion. Remember that lottery ticket you gave me for graduation? I asked, maintaining eye contact with my parents. Mother smiled indulgently. Of course, dear. Did you win something? Perhaps enough for a nice dinner? Actually, yes, I replied, reaching for my phone. I'd like to show you something. I displayed the official winner's press photograph taken at lottery headquarters, showing me holding an oversized check for $8.7 million. The image had been released that morning per legal requirements, though I'd declined additional publicity opportunities. Silence descended upon the dining room. Mother's serving spoon clattered against the dessert plate. Father adjusted his glasses, leaning forward to examine the screen. Justin's mouth opened slightly, his expression unreadable. This is some kind of joke, Father finally stated, though. Uncertainty tinged his voice. It's completely legitimate, I replied, swiping to show additional documentation. I've already completed the verification process and received financial transfers. After taxes, the lump sum payment was approximately $4.2 million. Mother's complexion paled dramatically. $4 million. From our ticket. The very same graduation gift, I confirmed. Quite a return on a $20 investment. Justin recovered, first emitting a sharp laugh that bordered on hysteria. Holy shit, Clark. You're rich. Language at the table. Mother corrected automatically before turning to me with dramatically altered expression. Sweetheart, this is absolutely wonderful. We always knew you were destined for success. Father cleared his throat, adjusting his posture to appear more engaged. Son, this is extraordinary news. Have you given thought to how you'll manage such significant assets? The rapid transformation in their attention and interest was precisely what I'd anticipated, yet remained jarring to witness directly. The parents, who'd barely acknowledged my graduation achievements, suddenly demonstrated intense interest in my financial situation. I've spent several weeks developing a comprehensive plan with professional advisors, I explained, maintaining a neutral tone. The funds have been strategically allocated across various investment vehicles. You should talk with my broker, Father interjected eagerly. He handles all our retirement accounts and has excellent insight into emerging markets. And real estate is always the safest investment, Mother added quickly. I have several exclusive listings perfect for investment properties. I could show you tomorrow. Justin leaned forward, his expression shifting from shock to calculation. Bro, you know I've been developing that app idea I told you about. With proper funding, it could be huge. We could be business partners. The barrage of suggestions continued through dessert, each family member suddenly offering advice and partnership opportunities they'd never previously considered me qualified to receive. Mother described potential properties in exhaustive detail, while Father outlined investment strategies contradicting my established plan. Justin alternated between business proposals and requests for loans to upgrade his new Jeep. The timing is perfect, Father declared, while pouring himself another glass of wine. I've been considering early retirement to manage personal investments. I could help oversee your portfolio as well. And I could assist with property acquisitions and management, Mother added enthusiastically. We could establish a family investment corporation with your capital. Justin nodded vigorously. Plus my business development skills. The Webster family financial empire. I observed this rapid reorganization of family dynamics with clinical detachment, noting how money instantly transformed me from afterthought to centerpiece. The attention felt simultaneously validating and hollow, recognition based entirely on external circumstances rather than inherent worth. "I appreciate everyone's input," I responded carefully. "But my financial decisions are already established. I've engaged top-tier advisors, specializing in sudden wealth management." Father's expression tightened. Those types often take advantage of inexperienced clients. "You need family, looking out for your interests." "I've thoroughly vetted all professionals involved," I countered, "and diversified advisory relationships to ensure balanced guidance." But darling mother interjected her tone, shifting to one she'd previously reserved for Justin family. "Understands your needs better than any outsider possibly could." Justin nodded emphatically. "We're just looking out for you, bro." That's a lot of cash for someone with no real-world experience. The irony of this statement, coming from someone whose real-world experience consisted primarily of parental subsidies, nearly prompted laughter. Instead, I maintained composed expression while addressing their collective assumptions. "I appreciate your concern," I stated firmly, "but I've developed significant financial literacy throughout college. My business administration degree included extensive coursework in investment management and entrepreneurial finance." Father's expression hardened. "Book knowledge differs substantially from practical experience, Clark. Your mother and I have navigated financial markets for decades. Yet you gave me a lottery ticket while buying Justin a luxury vehicle," I observed quietly. "Interesting financial strategy." The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. Justin shifted uncomfortably while our parents exchanged glances. "That's unnecessarily combative," Father responded stiffly. "We've always supported both our sons appropriately." "Differently but equally," Mother added defensively. Something inside me finally broke loose. Years of acceptance shattered by this breathtaking revision of history. "Equally? You've never treated us equally in any capacity." Justin received tens of thousands in support while I worked through school. He got a Jeep. I got a scratch ticket. Now that ticket's worth millions. Suddenly, I'm worthy of financial partnership. "You're becoming arrogant," Justin snapped. "Money changes people and not always for the better." "No," I corrected, standing from the table. "Money reveals people. And this situation has been remarkably illuminating." I thanked Mother for dinner, declined further discussion about investment opportunities, and departed despite their protests. As I drove away, multiple text notifications illuminated my phone, and separate messages from each family member attempting damage control in their distinct ways. Father suggested lunch with his financial advisor. Mother sent listings for luxury condominiums. Justin apologized for miscommunication while reintroducing his business concept with attached funding requirements. Their transparent motivations provided painful clarity. The lottery winnings hadn't created our dysfunctional family dynamics. They had merely exposed patterns existing throughout my lifetime. This recognition hurt tremendously, yet offered unexpected freedom. Financial independence had granted perspective previously obscured by hope for approval. That night, I booked a 2-week trip to clear my thoughts before addressing family relationships. Distance would provide necessary space for all parties to recalibrate expectations and recognize changed circumstances. The family dynamics established over decades couldn't transform overnight, but neither could they continue unchanged. The 2 weeks away provided essential perspective. I traveled to several potential real estate markets, met with educational technology developers, and enjoyed simple pleasures like beachfront mornings without checking email. The distance from family expectations allowed authentic priorities to crystallize without external pressure. Throughout this period, messages arrived regularly from family members. Father sent articles about investment strategies with highlighted sections emphasizing family financial collaboration. Mother forwarded listings for increasingly expensive properties, each presented as perfect for your portfolio. Justin alternated between casual check-ins and thinly disguised funding requests for his entrepreneurial ideas. I responded politely but briefly to each, maintaining boundaries, while avoiding outright confrontation. This approach frustrated them visibly, their messages growing increasingly direct about financial discussions we need to have as a family. Upon returning home, I discovered they had organized a family meeting at my apartment, arriving unannounced Sunday afternoon with Mother's signature casserole and Father's portfolio briefcase. Justin accompanied them, carrying architectural drawings for what appeared to be a luxury home. "We thought we'd surprise you," Mother explained, bustling into my kitchen to arrange her dish. "It's been too long since proper family dinner." The coordinated ambush might have worked previously, when my need for approval outweighed discomfort with their methods. But my time away had strengthened newly discovered independence. "I appreciate the thought," I responded calmly, "but future visits require prior arrangement. My schedule includes numerous commitments." Father dismissed this boundary with characteristic confidence. "Family doesn't need appointments, son. Besides, we have important matters to discuss. Your financial situation affects all of us." Mother added, arranging place settings without invitation. "We're your family support system." Justin nodded agreement, while unrolling his architectural plans across my dining table. "Check these out. Preliminary designs for the family compound I've been conceptualizing. Private residences surrounding shared amenities. We could all live there while managing your portfolio together." The presumption stunned me momentarily. They had designed literal architectural plans around my money without consultation. The brazen entitlement finally crystallized exactly what needed addressing. "Before we discuss any financial matters," I stated firmly, "we need to address some fundamental relationship issues." Father waved dismissively. "We can handle personal matters later. The market waits for no one." "No," I insisted, unprecedented firmness in my voice. "We discuss family dynamics first, or not at all." Something in my tone registered. They exchanged glances before reluctantly taking seats around the table, my mother smoothing her skirt nervously. "I've spent years accepting disproportionate treatment between Justin and myself." I began carefully. "Throughout our lives, there's been consistent favoritism that everyone pretended not to notice." "That's absurd," Father interrupted. "We've supported both our sons appropriately." "Please allow me to finish," I countered. "When Justin needed tutoring, you hired private instructors. When I won academic competitions, you were too busy attending his sporting events to participate. Justin received a new car in high school. I took the bus. He attended private college, fully funded. I worked through school with partial scholarship. He received a $45,000 Jeep for graduation. I received a $20 lottery ticket." Mother's expression tightened defensively. "Different children have different needs. Justin required more encouragement and support. While I was left to manage independently because you assumed I could handle it," I completed her thought. "That approach taught me self-reliance, but also communicated that my accomplishments were less valuable and my needs less important." Justin shifted uncomfortably. "Come on, bro. Parents always have favorite kids. It's not that serious." "It becomes serious when the disparity is consistent and extreme," I replied, "and when suddenly everyone wants relationship with me only after I have financial resources." Father's posture stiffened. "That's an unfair characterization. We've always valued your achievements. Yet you never supported them equally," I noted. "And now you've designed literal architectural plans presuming access to my financial resources without even discussing it with me first." The observation hung heavily between us. Justin rolled up his plans awkwardly, while our parents exchanged uncomfortable glances. "Perhaps we've been overeager in our excitement for your good fortune." Mother finally acknowledged, her tone softening slightly. "But we're family, Clark. Family supports each other." Support should be reciprocal and consistent, I responded, not contingent on financial circumstances, or appearing only when convenient. Father rubbed his forehead wearily. An unusual display of vulnerability. What exactly are you suggesting, son? That we've failed as parents? The question pierced deeper than anticipated. I hadn't intended condemnation, merely acknowledgement of painful patterns. I'm suggesting we've established unhealthy family dynamics that need addressing before any financial collaboration could possibly succeed. Unexpected moisture gathered in Mother's eyes. I never realized you felt this way. You always seemed so capable. Because I learned early that expressing needs resulted in being labeled difficult, while Justin's needs were automatically prioritized. I explained gently. I adapted accordingly. Justin stared at the table, uncharacteristically quiet. When he finally spoke, his voice lacked its usual confidence. I always knew I got more attention. I just figured you didn't mind, because you were into different stuff. I minded, I acknowledged, simply. I just stopped showing it. Father cleared his throat, discomfort, evident in his rigid posture. Supposing there's merit to your perspective, though I maintain we did our best with different personalities. What do you propose moving forward? The question represented the first genuine inquiry about my preferences rather than assumptions about my resources. This subtle shift indicated potential for meaningful change. I propose we rebuild our relationship separate from financial considerations. I answered. No discussion of investments, properties, or business ventures until we've established healthier interaction patterns. Mother wiped her eyes discreetly. How do we do that exactly? Professional family counseling would be a start, I suggested, and regular family gatherings, focused on genuine connection rather than financial opportunities. Father's instinctive rejection appeared momentarily, before reluctant consideration replaced it. Counseling seems excessive, but I suppose regular family discussions might prove beneficial. I think counseling's actually a good idea, Justin interjected surprisingly. Business school emphasized psychological factors in family enterprises. Unresolved tensions destroy more family businesses than market factors. His unexpected support shifted the dynamic notably. After further discussion, we reached agreement on bi-weekly family dinners and monthly sessions with a family therapist specializing in wealth-related dynamics. Financial discussions would remain off-limits during initial relationship rebuilding. As they prepared to leave, Justin lingered behind while our parents gathered their belongings. For what it's worth, he said quietly, I never considered how all this felt from your perspective. I just accepted the attention without questioning it. We all played our assigned roles, I acknowledged. Breaking those patterns requires everyone's participation. He nodded thoughtfully before following our parents. Their departure left me emotionally drained, yet cautiously hopeful. For the first time, we'd acknowledged long-standing dynamics, rather than perpetuating comfortable fictions. Whether this recognition would translate to meaningful change remained uncertain, but acknowledgement constituted necessary first steps. The following weeks brought tentative progress. Family dinners featured awkward attempts at equitable conversation. Our first counseling session involved defensive posturing from our parents, but concluded with grudging recognition of established patterns. Justin demonstrated surprising insightfulness about his role in our family system, acknowledging benefits he'd received without corresponding appreciation. Progress emerged gradually, rather than dramatically. Small adjustments in interaction patterns accumulated into noticeable improvement. Father began asking about my business interests with genuine curiosity rather than evaluative judgment. Mother made conscious efforts to equalize attention between her sons. Justin demonstrated newfound awareness of conversational balance. None achieved perfection, but their sincere efforts indicated genuine commitment to relationship improvement. This commitment, rather than immediate transformation, provided foundation for cautious optimism about our family's future. 6 months after graduation day, my life had transformed beyond recognition. The lottery winnings provided financial security, but the subsequent journey delivered something far more valuable: authentic self-discovery and relationship clarity. My educational technology startup launched with promising initial results. Named Access Point Education, the company developed adaptive learning software, specifically designed for students with limited technological resources. Our first program provided free STEM education modules to underserved schools across 3 states with measurable improvement in student engagement and performance. The scholarship foundation I established awarded its inaugural grants to 12 first-generation college students, covering tuition and providing mentorship throughout their academic journeys. Each recipient reminded me of my own college experience, though they would navigate their education without the financial stress I had endured. On the personal front, I purchased a comfortable but modest home in a vibrant neighborhood, large enough for my needs without excessive space. The property reflected my values rather than status considerations, featuring sustainable design elements and functional workspace for creative projects. More significant than these external changes were the internal transformations and relationship evolutions. Our family dynamics, though still works in progress, had improved substantially through continued counseling and deliberate communication practices. Father had initially struggled with relinquishing control, his executive personality chafing against therapeutic suggestions. Yet over time he demonstrated increasing self-awareness about his differential treatment of his sons. During a particularly breakthrough session, he acknowledged that Justin's personality mirrored his own extroverted traits, creating unconscious preference he'd never examined. I saw myself in Justin, he admitted with uncharacteristic vulnerability. And perhaps I viewed your different approach as implicit criticism of my values. This recognition opened conversations about varying definitions of success and achievement. Father gradually demonstrated genuine interest in my business approach, eventually offering valuable connections without attempting to direct my decisions. Mother's evolution proved equally significant. Her realization that supporting differently had created genuine inequity prompted sincere efforts to balance her attention and affirmation. She began acknowledging my achievements with the enthusiasm previously reserved exclusively for Justin, while also establishing appropriate boundaries around my financial decisions. "I never intended to make you feel less valued," she shared during a family dinner 3 months into our new arrangement. "I genuinely believed you needed less external validation because you seemed so self-sufficient." Seeming self-sufficient was my adaptation to feeling overlooked, I explained gently. It became a self-reinforcing cycle. Most surprising was Justin's transformation. Initially defensive about his privileged position, he gradually demonstrated remarkable growth and self-awareness. During a private lunch, shortly after our confrontation, he offered unexpected perspective. "I've always known I was the favorite," he admitted. "It was comfortable, so I never questioned it. But watching how quickly they shifted attention to you after your lottery win was eye-opening. Made me question whether their approval was ever about me personally, or just about what made them comfortable." This insight prompted his own journey of self-discovery. He declined Father's arranged job interviews, instead pursuing positions aligned with his actual interests rather than parental expectations. His eventual role with a sports marketing firm suited his personality perfectly while requiring genuine merit rather than connections. Our brotherly relationship, previously characterized by polite distance, developed newfound authenticity. Without parental preferences distorting our interaction, we discovered surprising common ground and complementary perspectives. The competitive dynamic established throughout childhood gradually yielded to mutual respect and occasional collaboration. Family dinners evolved from performance venues into genuine connection opportunities. Our parents learned to distribute attention equitably, while Justin and I both practiced expressing needs appropriately. The awkwardness of initial gatherings gradually transformed into comfortable new patterns. My relationship with money developed thoughtfully during this period. The novelty of wealth diminished, replaced by appreciation for security and opportunity, without defining my identity through financial status. I maintained reasonable lifestyle, while focusing resources toward meaningful impact through business and philanthropy. The lottery ticket that initially represented painful inequality ultimately facilitated valuable growth for our entire family system. Money hadn't solved relationship problems directly, but had provided catalyst for necessary conversations and perspective shifts. The sudden reversal of financial positions illuminated long-standing patterns that might otherwise have remained unaddressed indefinitely. Perhaps most valuable were the personal insights gained through this unexpected journey. I discovered that external validation, whether parental approval or financial status, provided inherently unstable foundation for identity and purpose. Genuine fulfillment emerged from internal congruence between values and actions, independent of others' perceptions or material circumstances. I learned that acknowledging pain didn't require permanent resentment, that confronting uncomfortable patterns could initiate healing rather than destruction. The courage to name long-standing dynamics had ultimately strengthened rather than severed family bonds, though the process required patience and commitment from all involved. Most importantly, I recognized that life's most significant winnings rarely arrive in expected packages. A $20 lottery ticket had delivered not just financial freedom, but catalyst for authentic living and relationship healing. The apparent disparity in graduation gifts had ultimately provided opportunity for genuine growth that no planned gift could have facilitated. This journey continues evolving daily as we navigate new relationship patterns and I develop my authentic path. The financial resources provide meaningful opportunities, but the personal growth and family healing represent the true jackpot from that unexpected graduation gift. Life offers no guarantees about outcomes, but I've learned that seeming inequities sometimes deliver unexpected blessings. The lottery ticket that initially symbolized parental oversight ultimately facilitated personal empowerment and family transformation beyond anything a Jeep could have provided. Have you ever experienced something that seemed unfair initially but ultimately led to unexpected growth? Share your story in the comments below. If this journey of family healing and personal transformation resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to hear more authentic life experiences. Thank you for joining me on this unexpected journey from disappointment to discovery. Sometimes life's greatest gifts arrive disguised as its greatest disappointments.